All right, so I've been saying for a while now that I think the potential had been kind of exhausted in the stock market and the energy market. I think the spot to where your best potential is going to be in the metals. Um, but for a while now, basically everything's kind of been going down together. But I think that may be changing. I think the gold may be bottoming, and it usually does bottom a little ahead of the rest of the markets. Um, I we may be starting what I call the bloodbath phase, and that's 5 to 7, usually runs about 5 to 7 days of complete panic selling. It tends to start once a support level is broken, so it's possible maybe that um, the bloodbath phase started on Tuesday, right here when we broke this support. We get a little bounce off of the 200-day moving average, but we're moving below that today. Um, it's also possible that maybe we have to come down and break this support to really ignite the bloodbath phase. So either way, we're in an intermediate decline. I don't see any compelling reason to try and pick a bottom just yet. Um, Whereas a lot of people were becoming extremely bullish in this area here. It was just too late in the intermediate cycle for me to be bullish anymore. I wanted to be cautious, and that has been the correct play. Moving on to energy, I did a video several weeks ago, and I got an email from one of the trolls um, chastising me for missing the rally in oil. We exited right here. Of course, we didn't miss anything. We entered down here. We made an 80% gain in 2 months, but it was becoming dangerous to keep holding positions at that point. We had resistance at the 200-day moving average, and yes, we did miss some of this rally, but without the ability to spot the exact top, the risk was that we would get caught in an intermediate decline. You can see that's exactly what happened to this troll. He got bullish up here, and now you can see he's gotten caught in an intermediate decline. We didn't catch 100% of the rally, but we also didn't get caught in this intermediate decline. And again, I don't see any compelling reason to try and pick a bottom in the energy market just yet. Uh, this daily cycle that started right here with this bounce, still pretty early. They can run 35 to 50 days. So it's just too early right now for me to try and pick a bottom in the energy market. And sentiment isn't excessively bearish yet. It's basically neutral. I like to get bullish when sentiment is um, extremely bearish. I like to take contrarian trades, but you have to allow sentiment to become excessive, either bullish or bearish, before you take a contrarian trade. And right now, the sentiment is basically neutral in both stocks and energy. So I'm not, I'm looking for a contrarian trade, but not yet. I think this probably has further to go. Gold, on the other hand, I think is at an inflection point. I think it may be ready to rally. And like I said, usually gold will bottom first, and it looks to me like maybe it probably has bottomed. It hasn't actually gone above this peak, and I would like to see that before um, I confirm, go fully long. We did start taking some positions yesterday, um, but it looks to me like the cup and the handle corrective pattern are probably complete. Um, we've broken this trend line this morning right here. The 200-day moving average is turning up. So I think the potential right now, anyway, is in the metal sector. I tend to think we probably completed an intermediate cycle low, and we're probably finished with this handle part of this cup and handle pattern. And I think um, the metals are going to become easier to trade. Moving on to the miners. In hindsight, this looks like a very nice rally. Some very nice gains could be made right here, but the truth is that this was so volatile. It was very hard to make any money. Uh, Everyone in the challenge, I think maybe a couple of people managed to make any significant money off of this rally. Um, just too much volatility, too hard to hold on to positions. I think the rally coming now will be much easier, a lot less volatility, um, bigger move. I'm watching this consolidation box here, and based on what is progressing in gold this morning, it looks to me like GDX will probably break out of this consolidation box today, and I'd like to see it close above this consolidation box. We'll have to get through the day and end the week before we can know for sure. There's always the possibility of a large attack, usually occur in the pre-market, but as of this morning anyway, things are looking pretty bullish. And if GDX can close above 21, then it's going to recover this consolidation box that it has been in for a couple of years, about 2.5 years actually. And I think at that point, I think the next intermediate cycle has a very good, um, very strong possibility of at least recovering the top portion of this consolidation box. Maybe an outside chance that we could finally break through the consolidation box to the upside and maybe test the baby bull highs during this intermediate rally. And I would think the rally would probably go at least into September, maybe into October before topping. As I've been saying for a long time, I think the potential at this point is in the metals market. Um, there will be a time to start buying stocks and energy again, but it's still a little early in my opinion. I think you want to just stay on the sidelines in those markets for a little while longer until we see some evidence of complete panic and some um, evidence of extremely bearish sentiment. And right now, both those markets are just kind of in neutral territory. So no need to try and pick a bottom in either one of those markets at the moment. But it may be time to pick a bottom in the metals, and we did start entering positions yesterday. So we'll see how the rest of the day plays out and what the weekly charts look like once we close today. But I think gold is probably completing an intermediate bottom.